What's up, guys? It is Sunday, December 22nd. It's 8 p.m. This is going to be a crypto market update, a Sunday markets look ahead. We're going to cover the macro drivers along with Bitcoin, and we'll get into the total crypto caps on the total three others, as well as XRP XLM. So let's get straight into it. So first off, what we need to see out of the macro drivers, the bond yield, 10-year yield bond, the dollar, we need to see these reverse ASAP. Because right now we're at the top end of the range for years now, and we want to see this start to roll over from where we're at. So as you can see, back here, September 2023, we got up to here, we got close in April of 2024, June of 2024, and then back in November, where we're at right now, we need to see this start to roll over, because when the dollar rolls over, the bond yields roll over, usually we'll see the stock market roll back up along with crypto. So we need to see the macro drivers come back into a good atmosphere right now. For the past couple of weeks, they haven't been. As you can see, since back here on the first week of December, we started to rise with the bond yields, same with the dollar. And that was when we reversed with the US Russell 2000. And then if we look at Bitcoin, the first week of December, we actually started to, that's what was confusing. Bitcoin kept chugging its way on up, whereas altcoins kind of got a little shaky. But ultimately, now we see Bitcoin caught up to where everything else, as far as the stock market and altcoins, ended up being. But now we're at a critical moment within the next 72 hours. We need to see recovery in a big way if we're going to see the start of the new year start off with fireworks. And I'll show you that in a second. So where we're at with we're on the weekly chart, bond yields and the dollar need a reverse ASAP, so we can start to see the drivers get in tune with what we're looking for with crypto going up. So as far as the US Russell 2000, we need to see that momentum reverse back up. As you can see, we just turned red on the MACD. When we saw that, that was back like April of this year, where we saw Bitcoin really start to go into its downtrend back here in April, where it stopped going up and we saw consolidation for months. So we need to see that recover and the mechanics get into play for us. But let's go to the crypto drivers. So on the left side of the screen, we have the pump dump chart for the altcoins. We wicked up to the 50 moving average on the weekly chart. We need to maintain below this level. As long as we're below this level, we're still good for this to roll over and alt season to commence. If we were to come up here, break up, hold that support and get in the mix here, and then start working our way up, then it's no good. It's no good. So we need to start to, in the next 72 hours, have this roll over. This is a weekly chart. If we go down to a daily chart, let's see if some of the momentum starting to curl. Right now, we still have on the daily chart momentum to the upside. As you can see here, we have the fibs pointing up as well too. We need to see us come down, break back below the daily 50 moving average here in the 786. So those fibs can flip bearish again. And for us to see this roll over, so then altcoins, cryptos can go back up. But right now we're in this kind of in-between phase. But where we're at in the daily TSI is right where we're at the beginning of early November. And as you can see, that's when we started our downtrend here. So I would say, like, if we're following the macro cycles and where we're at in the trend, we would start to see this roll over within the next 72 hours. So that's on the daily chart. If we go to a 12-hour to gauge if we are seeing that momentum start to roll, we're getting close. So one little move down here, this will cross down on the 12-hour TSI, which will spill into the daily, which will then spill into the weekly. And as you can see here, you see the pink. So just like back here, we had our first little move up. We had our second move up was a bit higher. So this would be our first move comparatively to that. And then our second move higher comparatively to this. We did the same thing. We had our first move right here. And then our second move higher right here. So this would match up with that. And then this would match up with this. So theoretically, if everything matches up, we would start to roll over here and then head into the next downtrend in this chart, which would mean we'd head into the next big uptrend as far as altcoins goes. Something like this, right? But it might be more aggressive. So something like that. taking us into the middle or tail end of January for upside before things get shaky again. So that's what I'm watching for as far as the pump dump chart, and looking at the 12-hour chart as well too. We want to maintain below the 12-hour moving averages there. Now looking on the right side of the screen, we have the 1 week chart for the alt season pulse chart, which we do have a weekly prepare to buy soon. Comparing it to the past back here, we had one, the last time we had one was March 2021, which was the first one. And then we saw it was weeks until we saw buy now came in. When we see this go down, that means it's a good time to be risk on for alts. So like if we are comparing it to the downtrend here when the first 1 week prepare to buy soon came in, we're right in this kind of hang up stage where this would be the week or next week where we start to continue our downtrend down and then go into that big alt season where everything fires up crazy. We've seen like a resetting of the market where some altcoins, like erased all their gains in a month. So it was like a big washout to, I wouldn't be surprised, to the inevitable big alt season that we've been waiting for. So we're still in this hang up phase from like back here. And if we were comparing it, we would be at, this next phase of rolling back over to then having that big alt season come in. Looking at others dominance and Bitcoin dominance actually we have the sell now. We came up, we wicked up to the 786. We'd want to start seeing this roll over. We still have the momentum bearish on the weekly, which is good. If we go down to the 3-day, we are starting to cross up, but I think that might be a fake out and we'll start to curl back over like this. We're below the zero line, which is good. If we go to the daily chart, we want to see this TSI cross back down below the zero line. So we want to see, us do something like that. And that will continue our momentum on the higher time frames going bearish. So this was just from the high down to the low, a wick up to that 786 retest for the Bitcoin dominance. So as far as us having the go ahead to continue lower, usually that's what you see. You see a high down to a low, a retest of the 786, reject, and then head lower. So that's where we're at as far as that point. We're just waiting for that confirmation, more clarity to come into the market for that. Looking at the weekly chart for others dominance, we still have the momentum heading up here. We do have a hard cross right now at the moment, but we're not officially crossed down. As you can see, this whole way up, October 2023, November 2023, and it wasn't ultimately until January 2024 where we saw a official cross down. So we could be, in comparison, like in the first stages of having like a cross down but not crossing and continuing up, cross down but not cross, continuing up. So we're at this zero line as well too. So we're at this key point this week where we want to see continued upside as far as the altcoin market goes and Bitcoin maintaining stability. So looking at total crypto market cap, let's go to the 12-hour chart. I think we came down and wicked right to the purple moving average on the snakes. We do have a 12-hour prepare to buy soon. We haven't seen a 12-hour prepare to buy soon since back here in October. Let's check the daily chart. No, nothing there, but we definitely need to hold the level where we're at now. We're at the daily 50 moving average as well as the purple MA on the snakes. If we can't hold that, it's likely we're going to come back down to retest the highs over here, this zone, which would bring us to the 1-day 200 moving average. So we're not quite out of the woods yet, but there are signs that this could be the local bottom here. Looking at like the last time we put a bottom in, like here, we had the blue cross up momentarily, and then we saw the pink come up aggressively. That's what brought us here. We have the blue up momentarily. We need to see, like I said, in the next 72 hours, the pink come back up, blue come back down, and that would bring us to our next big move up, which would likely take the total crypto market cap to around 5.2 trillion. Because by the time we get there, we'll see the orange MA on the snakes, come up to that level as well too. So that's where we're at as far as that goes. You have the daily RSI like reset to levels from like October. If we look at now others and we go to the 3-day chart, let's take a look. We have a 3-day sell now, which isn't the best. I mean, the last time we saw that was January last year, and then we had a brief month and a half of correcting before the next move up. But if we go to the weekly chart, let's see if we're flashing any sell nows. No sell nows yet. So we still are holding the line here. We have the sell warning, no sell now. I'd like to see us, well, we did come down and we've retested a key level, which was this zone right here. If we do come lower, we have the weekly 50 moving average and the snakes market structure here around 250 billion, but that's as low as I'd wanted to see it go. Where we need to get back above ASAP is 369 billion and hold as support, and then we can continue moving up here. Looking at the 3-day chart again, let's look at the momentum. So like we have red in the MACD, just like we had it back here at the beginning of November. So like we could just be in this stage right here, like that deep kind of last pull down, that shakeout before a big up move. And that's what it feels like and seems like to me. Looking at the 1-day chart, let's go to it. Yeah, we're on the 1-day 50 moving average here. I mean, we have this macro 786 right here as well too at 303 billion from the high that we had set in March to the low that we had set in August. Like that's the key level to close candle bodies above 303 billion for the others market cap. We wick to it. We close the body above, which is good, but we need to see weekly candle body closes above that 303 billion level for others. No sell now yet, so we're still good. Looking at Bitcoin right now on the 1-day chart, we need to hold that 1-day 50 moving average at 93.5K. We wicked even lower than that to like 92. If we were to break like this 1-day 50 moving average, our next level is like 91K. Yeah, 91K, 90K flat. If we were to break that, we're coming down to 85, 86K. Potentially even 84K to the purple MA on the snakes. And the lowest that we could go, in my opinion, without any alarm, is like a 77 to like 75K to retest the 786 here, as well as the 1-day 200 moving average, as well as I think we still have the Bitcoin futures gap at that level as well too. That would be the ultimate shakeout. Yeah, we have it at like 77K. So that's where we could go to if Bitcoin continues to fall. But as far as looking at the momentum on the 1-day chart, we need to see that start to pull up. As you can see here, let me go to, yep. So we have the TSI, it's still above the 0 line, which is fine. We need to maintain above there because back here in October, we maintained above, we crossed up, we were good to go. We had some cross downs in here in November. And once we crossed up, we were good to go for our next moves. Where we're at right now, like with the blue, comparatively, like I said, November 4th, like this period back here in the middle of October, even September, we had the blue. You know, we're in this phase where we need to see this in the next 72 hours recover quickly and us get back above 100K for Bitcoin. Because if that's the case, then altcoins will continue to recover and do well. But if Bitcoin keeps showing weakness and momentum to the downside, then we're still going to see alt suffer at this time. So Bitcoin's the daddy. We got to follow it. And we're at a key point right now. It needs to hold. And I gave you the levels if it doesn't. So let's look at XRP. We have XRP on the daily chart. If it were to go lower, I would say the lowest it could go is like $1.70 to $1.50. It would be a steal of a deal to see it at $1.10. I don't think it would go down there. I would say the lowest, if it were to go, would be $1.70, $1.50. But what's key is, and what I say in the next 72 hours, we need to see a strong move out of XRP back to the upside to null and void this 3-day sell now signal. You don't want to F around with the 3-day sell now. We have 2 days and 23 hours left for this candle to close. If we look to the past, 2017, when we saw that 3-day sell now, that was the utmost top in May after that big move up. And then our second one, sell now in 2018, that was the second one. So yes, we're looking for the 1 week sell nows to be outy, but like a 3-day sell now is early indication. So 72 hours XRP, and it likely is the same for XLM as well too. Yep. XLM actually did it like 12 days ago. XLM at the 3-day sell now. So looking to the past, that's what put the nail in the coffin for XLM back here in 2017 and then back here at the top. So, but it did have some multiple 3-day sell nows along the way in 2020 to 2021 bull market. But that was, more of a stair step up where this was just a rocket ship. And this looks more like a rocket ship rather than a stair step up. So we need to see 72 hours, some big movements coming back into the crypto space and momentum to come back up to continue this move up to hit these higher targets. If we can't see that, then we're going to see these lower targets before potentially seeing, maybe in a month, or it's going to take some time to work itself out. If we were to come down here, work itself out, come back up, it would take some time to then reach those targets up there. So 72 hours are critical. I want to get this out to you guys ASAP, but that's what I'm watching for. We got to get those macro market mechanics back in place for the right environment, for the crypto drivers to be in the right environment, for then the others dominance, Bitcoin dominance to do their thing, that will spill into the total indices as well as into Bitcoin holding this line right here, which will then spill into the individual altcoins. So I'm going to shoot this video out to you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video.